Hi, today we're talking about balance. Doctors, neuroscientists, and high performing coaches all agree that as we age, we start to lose our balance. And when you lose balance, everything starts to go downhill and usually starts around 40s to 50. We might not even think of it, but when you start to lose balance, you lose mobility, confidence, risk of falling, injury, especially as we get older, lose independence. So it's vital. So glad you're here today. We're at LZ23 Strength. I'm Steve, and here we talk about exerting ourselves daily, elevating our health, and evolving in mind and body. And this is an important aspect. We're going to talk about balance training, and I've never done it. I think I mentioned in videos before that I was a pretty good athlete when I was young, where balance was critical, never thought of it. And since then, I've never given it another thought. But now I'm 61 and I haven't really noticed the decline, but when I've tried a few of these sample exercises to improve balance, I see that I got some work to do. So the reason we're here in this location is because I watched a gentleman, I believe he's a doctor, Will Tallow or Fallow. Sorry, I got the name wrong. I just saw it real quickly, but it gave me the idea here. And he recommended, if you're going to do any kind of balance exercises, to have at least two walls where you're going to do it in case you lose your balance. You can fall into a wall and you're not going to get severely hurt. So when I sample the exercises, I'm going to do them downstairs, but because I'm not afraid of falling, I don't think I'll fall. That would be pretty embarrassing, and I don't think I'd put it on the video. But here, that's what's recommended. Any of the exercises that I'm going to show you, they are recommended to do it where you have at least two walls. Here at our house, mostly have situations like this where there's actually three. There's two walls and a door. But try to do it someplace that if you do lose your balance, you're not going to fall and hit your head on something. You'll be able to maybe catch yourself on the wall and protect yourself. But balance is vital. There's three things that are involved generally where it can begin to decline for us. Our vision, because obviously looking, we're seeing where we are. It's telling our brain where our body is, what's around us. Second is our inner ear, called the vestibular system. And as we age, we can have problems with our inner ears, and that can affect balance for individuals. And then also proprioception, which involves our joints, our muscles, our tendons, and they're all sending signals to our brain as well. So those three areas, if they get impaired in some way as we age, that's where it's going to affect our balance. But the great news is that we can train our balance, and it doesn't take a lot of time, just a few minutes a day. So we're going to head down to the basement. I'm going to show you 2, 3, 4 different exercises that just a couple minutes every day, and I'm going to try to start incorporating them into my daily habits so that as I age, that I will keep my balance and keep mobility, be independent as we age, and have a good quality health span and life. And also there's a link, as there always seems to be, with cognitive health. Individuals who don't have good balance many times have cognitive decline already. And again, the nice thing is that we can do something about it, so that if we can regain our balance, hopefully that the benefits there too to maybe regain some of the cognitive issues that we might be dealing with. So it's definitely worth our time and effort. And as I said, it starts in the 40s, sometimes 30s, but 40s to 50s. So all of us at any age, even older, but again, if you're older and already struggling with some balance issues, make sure you pick a spot that you can do it safely. And that's our motto for everything we do. We're trying to do all these things to have a better health span and longevity, never trying to get hurt, because that takes us out of the game. Sometimes if it's just a couple days, weeks, months, it'd be terrible. So we're going to head downstairs now and we'll talk about some of those exercises. So remember, when we talked about doing any of these balance exercises, you want to do it somewhere where you're not going to fall. So that's why we had it in the doorway down here. I feel fairly confident that I'm not going to fall. And I'm going to show you a couple of the exercises. One's a basic one where you stand on one foot and the other foot never really touches, but you're tapping. I have vitamin bottles, and you can do them in any order. And the farther apart you put them, you can train for various aspects. There's also one similar where you have 4 spots around you. And so you would be touching, you would even be touching behind you. You would touch, and you're just tapping each one. And you will lose your balance a little as you're getting used to it. But these are things that we can do. You could bring it around from the other side. And that's the thing with either foot. Just doing this for 2 or 3 minutes a day can build better balance routine. So you can go any combination from front to back, side to side. So that's one area. Another one is the basic standing on one foot. And you want to do this for as long as you can. 30 seconds would be ideal. And there's ways to make it harder. You can switch feet. Basically, to make it harder, you would close your eyes if you can, because again, vision is one of the ways that we are able to function with balance. So closing your eyes gives it a whole new dimension. As I mentioned, I haven't practiced these things, so I'm not perfect at it either. I'm going to have to get there. If you get pretty good at it, something else that's recommended is to recite the alphabet backwards while you're on one foot with your eyes closed. Z, Y, X, W, V, U, and so forth. So those are some things that you can do. There's also there's a doctor who on Instagram, I've seen him doing this. Basically, he would have his shoes and socks on the ground, and he'd always be on one leg, and he would pick up his sock, put it on, swivel back, pick up his shoe, put his shoe on, and switch and do the same and never touch. And the same doctor would emphasize that whatever he's doing, if he's brushing his teeth or doing something, washing dishes, he would try to do it on one leg while he's doing it, and he would switch legs out. So there's a lot of ways he's doing it constantly. I don't know if you have to do it constantly. I'm newer to the balance idea, but just doing these few exercises, I see that I need to improve upon it. So I'm going to try to incorporate it in there as well. Something that I didn't talk about that is also important, although the proprioception, when I talked about the joints, ligaments, and muscles, we do need leg strength. And I have talked about that in other videos. Leg strength is vital as we age. So that comes into play too in avoiding falls. Maybe not as much balance, but it does come into play with balance. But not falling. If we happen to lose our balance, you need the strength to be able to get yourself and stop before you fall over and potentially hurt yourself. So some other recommendations they have and we have is that getting outside, walking on different terrain, walking up hills, walking in rocky areas, trails. If you can walk barefooted or use minimalist shoes, we want to build strength and resilience in our feet. And that's a whole nother area that one day I'll try to do a video on that. And I got some Vivo barefoot shoes that I have working on, and there's other ones that are out there. So being barefooted, which is also good for grounding, which we've talked about. But doing these little tap exercises, as I mentioned, 30 to 60 seconds on one foot, 30 to 60 seconds on the other. But incorporating them on a daily basis. This other one that I thought was interesting, I'll see if I can show it. I forgot the name exactly, some kind of warrior. So basically, you're going forward, and then you bring your knee up. Trying to get into like a T position. Trying to explain that and do it at the same time shows that I need work. So I'm going to work on this one day, and then I'll come back and show you how balanced I've become. I'm going to go for at least the 30 seconds on the one foot, maybe a minute, and then I'll try to have my wife film the warrior pose. But it's an interesting one where You go into a T position, then bring your knee up, but you don't want to touch as I'm touching the floor. So you keep going back and forth, maybe doing 5 to 8, and then switch legs. So we'll work on it together, right? It's a work in progress, but balance is something vital that we need. And pick a different exercise each day. Try to give it a minute or 2 or 3 and see what the results are. I would love to hear your comments about it, and we'll revisit this area to see how we're doing. And I appreciate you watching. Please smash the like button and hit the subscribe as well. Share your comments, and we'll look forward to talking to you soon. Have a good one.